Hey guys, welcome to the fourth session of D&D, Roman D&D. I apologize. We're going to kick it off here real quick. I have spent the past 2 or 3 days, actually, in between episodes, trying to figure out, I guess, a better combat system that isn't quite so unknown. Obviously, I haven't had one full in effect yet until now, and I kind of was doing some thinking, and I'm trying to keep this as realistic as possible. So, with that being said, we do have partially a combat system in effect. It's probably about 85% done. We're just going to work out some kinks, hopefully this episode through into the near future, and hopefully it gets fixed pretty well that way. As far as that goes, I think we've got it handled. And if once it gets finished, I'll definitely post it somewhere so everyone kind of knows what it is. It is based on a lot of realistic features. It's based on like how a guy's attacking, like if it's from the right, from the left, over the top. Based on what weapons the guy's facing. If he's using a shield and sword and he's getting attacked by a shield and sword guy, okay, that's different than if a guy with a shield and sword is facing a guy with two swords. So it's a lot of realistic features in there, I think, and it's going to be really entertaining, I think, as well to see combat in this now. As far as lore goes, I think it's nice to know that I guess it's easy for me to say that my Roman D&D campaign is based off, obviously, history, but only to a certain extent. I want to keep this as much as my campaign as anybody does, but I do want it to be sometimes based off of historical figures or things like that. With that said, I do not have anything historically planned that's something that's actually happened in history planned in my campaign yet. There is a emperor, and it's roughly about the same time period that he ruled that I'm actually having this emperor as well. The emperor is Emperor Trajan. I don't know how to say his name, Trajan. I'm going to say Trajan. It is Trajan. You can actually find him. He was in one of the many. He was one of the many emperors that served for 20 plus years. So, with that being said, Reiss, aka Gervas, is now taken his seat on the pedestal of getting fucked. And
What?
You heard me, fuckface. With that being said,
I did good last time.
Gervas, speak to me. What do you remember from last time? Let's fill these people in if they're just now joining us. All the way from the get-go. Tell me what you remember so far. Make it short, make it sweet. Give me a 1-2 minute summary of everything from session 1 to here to the start of session 4.
Okay. Entered the house. Got fucked. Trained a little bit. That was tough. Did my test. That was tough too. Probably tougher than the training actually. Yeah. Did that.
In a different way, of course.
Yeah. Definitely a different way. Got called back to Gallus to kind of prove to him that I deserve to be here. I think I passed, so I'm still here. Let's see.
No, you passed. You know you are.
Okay. So trained more the next day. Kind of got accepted by the other gladiators. Fought in a battle in a arena. Not too big, just a little sideshow for like 3 people or some shit. And nailed the fuck out of that.
Okay. Why now? With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and kind of elaborate a little bit more on the previous session here and kind of catch everyone else up in case they may have forgot. Last session, obviously, we found out a lot that Olivia is still alive. She's on crutches. You became a gladiator, a guy you actually ended up getting in a fist fight within your cell. You're now friends with because of the fact that you are now of the Brotherhood. You're now in the House of Aurelius.
Forgot about that.
And you mentioned something else. Oh, you fought someone, and you said it was a sideshow. It was not a sideshow.
Well, it was.
It was for Gallus, and it was for Gallus only. And that was because Gallus was set to be assassinated by the House of Metrodora, who you do not really know too much of. Obviously, it's another competing house. I don't
know anything about
it. You do know it exists, and
I know it exists.
You know it's another Ludus because Gallus has mentioned it. He said the House of House of Metrodor, has tried to assassinate me yet once again, and he mentioned that it's pretty often that happens, and he gave you the opportunity to kill the third slave, and you literally just fuck this guy.
Yes.
And a lot of the gladiators, if they didn't already respect you or give you a second thought, they now do because of how brutal and how quick the killing was.
You better.
And then at the end of the episode, I think the day of training was set to begin. I think this is where it was. I don't know if it was at night or if it was set to begin.
Probably. We just fast forwarded that.
But I feel like it was in the morning. You guys were getting ready to train, and you were summoned to. You were just summoned, and you don't know by who or for what reason. But when you stood at the top of the stairs for probably 3 or 4 minutes, and Olivia came and started telling you to follow her.
I remember.
And then she had led you into the left when you got to the top of the Ludus. When you got into the actual story of the Ludus, which this here is the Ludus. These are the stairs down to the gladiator area. Here is the actual courtyard. And this right here is just like an open square, just this part right here. So like rain will come through the roof here and all that stuff. Off to the left here is just the what you now know, since you've entered it, is the Ludus entry room where nobles and all them enter. Over here, you're about to find out what all this stuff is. And then the Dominus headquarters, you know where that is. You've been in there multiple times. It's actually where you fought Olivia originally. And then down here's the dining room.
I remember that.
Where Gallus got pissed off through his wine glass. You, in turn, threw your wine glass and it surprised Callias, a slave, the right-hand slave of Gallus, because Callias has never seen anybody else do that and get away with it.
That was funny.
But Gallus stormed off with Lentulus to go get the 3 attempted assassins. And, So with that being said, we left off with you being in the Ludus entry room, summoned by someone. You do not know who, but you're assuming Olivia at this point, as she's the one leading you to wherever you're going.
So I'm in the Ludus entry room right now?
You are in the Ludus entry room, and that is where we left off.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to switch back over here. All right. Oh, my goodness. Jax is so good, but sometimes it's so intense. All right. So Olivia, she's walking around on crutches. She's waddling her way. She could put some pressure on one leg, even though you cut both. The leg with the gash on, obviously she's not really putting any pressure on. She tries to every once in a while, you can tell, but it's not quite working out in her favor yet. So on your way to wherever you're going, do you say anything to her? Do you ask her any questions or anything?
I think I apologized on the way.
All right, go roleplay it.
All right, as we were walking in.
Okay, real quick, DM mode. I want to remind you. Obviously, you know the house is different, but again, you are a slave. Mm-hmm. You are a gladiator, and even though you may be a god in the arena, outside of the arena, you're nothing but dirt to everyone else.
Mm-hmm. And that's all.
So I just want you to remember that when you roleplay, everyone is above you, type thing, and they see it that way. So you address them wrong, they may get pissed off, and that's something that I want to try to drill in your head these first couple episodes, so if you ever do mess up in a role play, they can get pissed off at you and hit you, whip you, do whatever they want because you addressed them wrong or offended them.
Oh, yeah, I fully understand.
So I just want to – I'm trying to drill that in the head early on, so when you do mess up in the future, I'm like, you know what, I've told you many times, boom, you're fucked.
Most of the times when I speak out of line, it's on purpose.
Okay.
Because that's my character.
All right. Well, with that being said, go ahead and role play whatever you're wanting to say to Olivia on this walk to wherever you're going.
Okay. I'll just okay, as we were walking, Olivia, I just want to apologize for all that went down, but you knew as well as Gallus the consequences, as I did not wish to strike you, but I felt that was my test.
And you guys take a couple more strides. You could tell she heard you. Obviously, you spoke loud enough for her to hear you.
Okay.
She acknowledges your statement, and it's almost as if she's just trying to think of something to say.
Okay.
You guys go, again, probably another 10, 15 feet, and she stops and she turns, hard to turn
on crutches.
On crutches.
Yeah.
All right, you know what? She doesn't turn. She just stops and she kind of like turns her head to the
Okay.
right,
Okay.
and she says, "As hard as this is for me to say, you did best me. I thought you to be a dumb brute with really no advantage at all when it comes to slang, and I was wrong. You are well trained, and I won't make the same mistake twice."
I'm gonna say I'm glad, and it it hap- it makes me proud that you would say that.
Well, it's not easy for me to say it. I take a lot of pride in what I do.
Coming from you, it means a great deal.
Going into the battle, I'm not gonna lie. I thought I had it. Deep down I was like, oh, I've got this. It's honest. It was my first true test against. Um, even if I thought a slave at the time, obviously it was my first true test against a well-trained warrior, as we can see now. Um, with that being said, uh, you're a good warrior, and hope to someday fight again.
I don't hope to fight again. Maybe a spar, but not a full-on fight.
All right. And after she had initially said her original line, saying she thought she was going to beat you and all that stuff, you guys started going to wherever you're going.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. You get to the decorative room, or what you may interpret as a legend room. All the previous
Legend?
gladiators that were
Oh, it's
obviously
like
in the house. You see
statues
a lot
and
of
stuff?
statues of heads, or full body statues in this room. It is a lot bigger than what it appears to be here.
Okay.
But there's also stairs that lead up, and I apologize, I do not have the upstairs made yet. But when you get upstairs,
Oh, we go upstairs.
yeah, you go upstairs. She stays downstairs. Obviously, she's on crutches.
Okay.
But you get up the stairs, and she says, when you get to the top of the stairs, go straight all the way across.
Okay.
All right. So you get to the top of the stairs. You see kind of the same layout as you do on the first floor. Again, I'll show it again. Kind of the same layout here. Basically, you're where the Dominus headquarters would be
See.
when you get to the top of the stairs.
Oh, same layout though.
Basically, you're going to go all the way across, though. And again, there is an open roof.
Oh, second story out that far.
A second story, yeah.
Okay.
There's a second. Everything here, basically, it's one story, and then there's a second story,
It's just
kind of
doubled.
just like this, yeah.
It's just kind of a little bit layout
Right.
differently.
Right, kind of same layout, but a little bit different as well.
Different hallways and stuff. Okay. I
And
got
she
it.
says, go all the way across. And that leads you into what appears to be like a viewing room. If the house were to have guests and they wanted to show off gladiators or
Okay,
show
I know.
something off, there's a lot of luxurious chairs, a lot of fruit, wine, all that shit laying around. And that's where they would show off the slaves, and the slaves or gladiators would just stand there while the Romans would marvel at them.
Okay, wait a minute. So I walk. Do I walk in there?
You walk to the top of the stairs. I don't know. You get to the top of the stairs. Do you walk all the way?
Is it open?
There's no doors.
I was
They're
told-
all arches. You can see all the way across. You can see that there is a courtyard. There's a hole in the ground. So if you can get pushed off the top set story here down to the first story.
Okay.
And this right here is obviously being held up by columns that are.
Yeah, I got it.
This right here is being held up by columns right here on the four corners.
Of course.
But this right here is. It is a second story, so you can fall down. There are no fences there.
There's no railing.
There's no railing there.
Oh, that's weird.
Yes. And
Okay.
and you wonder why, but unbeknownst to you, there may be reasons you don't know. So, with that being said, you're at the top of the stairs right now. What do you do? Do you walk all the way straight across? Or you wander around? What do you do?
I was told to go straight across, so that's where I'm gonna go.
All right, so you walk all the way across. Do you walk to the right or to the left when you get to
Probably the right.
the gap? You walk to the right. Okay. All right, so you are now in the room, and when you enter the room, you see Amelia laying in what appears to be basically a suntan chair. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like a reclining,
Yeah, like a reclining chair, but like it's all
like a lawn chair kind of.
yeah, like you can lay back in it. Yeah. and
Yeah.
like the legs all the way out.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
All right. And Amelia's there, and at this point,
Is that the only person I see?
Yeah, Amelia's the only one there.
Okay.
My question to you outside of game: do you
Okay.
think your character would know what to do when they enter a room and they're in what appears to be a showroom, or do you just walk in there and stand there?
Well, I think my character wouldn't ever be in the situation. I don't think he would have heard stories about it, really.
I don't think so either. All right, so you walk in and you just stand there.
Yes.
All right, and she knows you're probably not accustomed to it, and she says normally when you enter the room, a room that looks like this, most rooms, this room is made for showing. I've brought you here mainly just because this is the room I was in, and I'm hungry. And you can see she's eating fruit. She's picking at the fruit and drinking wine.
Was that grapes and shit?
Yeah, just grapes, apples, oranges, all cut in pieces already, shit like that.
So no good fruit?
It's all good fruit. It's luxurious fruit.
I'm just kidding.
But, and she says, I know you're probably not accustomed to it. Normally when you come in, you stand almost as you would if you were a guard. You have your hands behind your back, and you stand, feet shoulder width apart.
I don't say anything, I just do it.
Okay. And she says, no, you don't have to do it when it's just us. But if for some reason we ever have guests, that is what will be required of you. If not, you may be whipped or maybe punished in a way that you may not like. Maybe in a way that...
As she says that, I'm going to give her kind of look like I know.
or maybe in a way that I punished you out of impulse, and I apologize.
Okay.
And to your knowledge, obviously, this isn't something that normally happens in any house.
With a slave or a
with
gladiator.
a slave or a gladiator at all. Normally, a house they don't ever say sorry, even if they were in the wrong. To them, they were never in the wrong.
Yeah, because they're stuck up assholes.
Yes, yeah, exactly. They don't really care. To you, you're just another gold coin to them. But in this house, you can definitely tell at this point, it's not just about what they've said all along. It's now their actions speaking. You've been apologized to now twice, both by people that are higher than you, both that are noble. They're not. They're ludistas is what they call them. They may not actually run the ludus, but they are noble.
Yes.
So you could definitely tell at this point that the House of Aurelius is not, at least the two women, they are not like most women that you would find in all of Rome.
Oh, I already realized that with Amelia. Or Olivia.
Okay. So, and she stands up and she walks over to you. Are you asking her any questions? You obviously get the sense now that you're almost able to talk freely.
Okay.
Because
she just stands up and walks towards
Yeah,
me.
she starts walking towards you. Do you say
Wait,
anything?
I'll just wait for her to do what she's gonna do. I'm not gonna say anything right now.
All right. Again, you stand about an inch and not an inch, a foot and a couple inches taller than her. So when she gets over, her face is almost about your chest level.
Yeah.
Probably here. I was gonna say right at your neck level, but probably about right here.
Yeah, probably.
Because I don't think your face would be a foot tall.
No.
So
Weirdo.
she comes over, and her face, she puts her hand up, and she starts feeling the cuts that you got from the whips.
Okay.
And she asks if it hurts. As she's touching them.
When she touches one, I'll be like, oof. But I'll just smile and be like, just kidding.
You're just kidding? Yeah. So you play a joke.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you go oof, like when you like flinch back, she's like oof, and she brings her hand back really fast.
Yeah.
All right. And she brings her hand back really fast, and you're like, oh, I'm just kidding. How do you do the I'm just kidding?
What?
How do you do the I'm just kidding? What do you say? So she's put her hand on you. You flinch back, and she brings her hand back. What do you do?
Oh, I'll just be like, oh, well, shit, okay. I'll try to say something like they would say back then. If she would touch it, I'd be like, oh. And then she'd bring her hand back and be like, I'll just say like, I'll just smile and say, I'm accustomed to pain.
All right, better. So you don't actually play it off like it's a joke. You just say you're accustomed to pain. Okay.
Yeah.
That's better. I like that. And she reiterates again, I apologize for for the wounds and any scars, but I merely acted out of impulse. I think,
Well, it did not hinder me in the battle, so
but a thing I think that many women would have done in the act that their daughter may have been killed. So I do apologize. I should have maybe investigated a little bit more, but I think when it comes to children, we all do things out of impulse. And it's something you may not know, something you may not obviously be accustomed to, unless something, or something you wouldn't have knowledge of, unless your parents did something for you that you didn't really mention to me yet, because we don't know really too much about your parents, right?
exactly.
So at this point, you may not know what it means to act out of impulse when it comes to a kid being in danger.
I don't know if I would know.
All right, so I think that really depends on your backstory, but as of right now, you have no idea. You can only imagine, type thing.
Yes.
All right. What do you say when she says that? When she says, I think I do apologize for the scars or any pain that I may have caused, but I think it's something that any mother or parent would have done when it comes to the safety of their children.
Fair enough.
Okay. She says, that's the only reason I brought you here. I got no other services of you. I wanted to apologize and for my impulsive behavior. And with that, I'm more than happy to let you get back to your training.
All right. That sounds good to me.
You say anything else?
I'll just thank you, and I'll just be like, what's accustomed to, what should I do when I leave a room?
Domina. You kind of nod and like you kind of bow type thing and say Domina.
Okay, yeah, down.
All right. And she nods back and gives you like a hand gesture to which way to go, and you obviously assume it's the same way you came in.
I'll just be like, oh, I know.
All right, so you get back to the bottom of the stairs. Well, okay, you know what? You tell me. Do you go back to the bottom of the stairs or
Let's see.
what do you do?
I came the right way. Is there a room over there?
Over where?
Where there is a room on the bottom floor.
Yeah, everything's basically up the same.
Was that open when I walked by earlier?
It is open. It has a gap, but there's like curtains type things.
Okay, so I'm gonna walk on the other side and see if I can see in the other room.
All right. When you walk in there, you see.
I don't walk in the room. I just walk by.
All right. Well, when you walk by, you don't. It's really hard to see. The drapes are very dark.
Okay.
Right? It's like a navy blue type of curtain.
Is there like a crack in it, or could I peek through?
It's like silk, and there's obviously a slight breeze. There's a crack, and you don't see much, but maybe some pillars in the wall.
Okay, that's cool. I'll just go.
Maybe you might. You see about 4 feet of stone barely coming up out of the ground as well. You don't know how wide, but you see that it's probably about 4 feet. Comes up to about the top of your legs, coming up out of the ground in the middle of the room.
That's weird.
I'll tell you. No, I won't tell you.
I might guess that's like a bath or something.
Good guess.
Is that what it was?
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, I'm gonna head on out.
Okay. All right, so you go to the room, you go back down the stairs. There's no one there when you get to the bottom of the stairs.
Cool. I'll just go to the other stairs.
Okay. You walk. Which way do you go?
There's the same way we came in.
There's 2 ways to. Okay, you come. Okay. As you're walking through, you see probably about 15 to 20 statues in the room.
You know what? I'm gonna take time and observe these while I'm walking by. Read the names and stuff.
All right. First one you come to is someone you've heard of before.
Okay.
Olivia has previously talked about him. His name is Dalius.
Oh, he was the big.
He's another tall guy.
That one dude.
Correct.
Yep.
You see that he fought with a warhammer.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah. It mentioned you see the word warhammer, and then are you accustomed to Roman? You think? I know you can probably read a couple of words. I think we determined.
Oh yeah, Roman, the language.
So
maybe a little bit.
The most you can make out of it is really basically the fact that he fought with a warhammer and he's a legend type thing. Those are the few words you can really make out.
Okay.
And you go on to the next one, and again, you can just kind of you're starting to notice a trend that you can only really read kind of like what weapons they may have used, and that they were a legend.
So basically, I only understand the word legend and
How they may have fought, maybe. There's
Okay.
a chance you may understand that.
Yeah, maybe some similarities in the wording.
Right, right.
Because I would think my two languages would be.
And you know what? I'm going to
Germanic.
test you real quick here. You are intelligent. That is correct. We're assuming Roman is the common language here.
Oh, Rome is a common language.
Okay, we're gonna say that because we're in Rome. How did you come to know Roman?
Sure.
I think that's a valid question to ask you.
Okay, so I guess since I've been traveling for like 2 years,
Yeah, you traveled 2-3 years on the road.
I would
So.
probably meet people along the way that I don't understand, and kind of get a rough.
Did you travel those people or?
Well, probably like I stopped through towns and I had to communicate. So
Okay, so your travel actually took so long because of the reason that you stopped in towns to try to learn the language at least a little bit.
yeah,
So you learned it. You're able to speak most words, but when it comes to reading, you may not be completely intelligent just due to the fact that they didn't teach you how to read it; they taught you how to speak it.
yeah, I can speak it. I can't read it that well.
Right, you've seen a couple of books just along the way. You know, they open up a dictionary. We'll call it a dictionary of words, and you've seen this word, that word before.
Okay.
Okay.
I would say I also have a thick Germanic accent, whatever that would be, or Germanian.
Yeah, I assumed you've been there for, I think, how old are you? 23?
I forgot what it's saying on my character.
What's your character sheet say?
Let's see. I am. Yeah. Oh shit. It says 22, but that
All right.
was.
Well-
I'm about 24 actually.
You're about 24. Okay, so yeah, I mean, with
Change that.
you being there, being in Germania for 21 years, obviously I assume you'd have a thick Germanic accent, especially
Definitely.
being a part of a tribe.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah. So I'm like a Hispanic talking English.
Okay. So you go back across same way you came. Oh nope, you're still in the legend room.
Yes, I'm looking at statues and busts.
Alrighty, do you continue looking, or do you realize the fact that you may not be able to understand these and you move on? You probably looked at 4 or
Well,
5.
I-
You looked at 4 or 5 now.
I look at to what would look like the most prestigious one, like the biggest and best looking one. What does that say? Or do
Uh,
they all look similar?
There is one that stands out in the room. It's in the corner of the room and doesn't have any other, like, there's no heads or other statues in the room next to it within probably 3 or 4 feet.
Okay.
And it's pure. It definitely stands out. It's made of pure gold.
Oh,
The whole thing is gold.
I'm gonna pocket that.
And you see the guy, and he's holding a sword and shield, just a
Okay.
typical weaponry.
Okay.
Okay, and you can't even read anything on it because there's no words.
Oh, no words. So it's like,
At least to your knowledge, there's no words. Maybe it's somewhere on it, but to your knowledge, there's no words.
so it's more like you should know who this person is, so there's no words on it.
Yes, because it's so, like you said, prestigious.
All right, I'm gonna whip out my Sharpie and draw a mustache on it.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I know that.
No, I know.
I don't have a Sharpie.
Okay. Hey, hand me your D20. In case I need to roll something that I don't want everyone else to see. Thank you. Oh, okay. As you're looking at this,
Oh, shit.
a guard walks in,
Oh fuck.
and he yells at you, "What are you doing?" And he
I'm
puts
just
his
admiring-
hand, he puts his hand on his hilt of the sword.
I was on my way out, and I'm just admiring this fine statue made of pure gold.
All right, he draws his sword, and he says, "Gallus will hear about this." And he says, "Follow me."
Okay.
All right, and he leads you to the Dominus headquarters,
As we're
and he takes you through the small storage room that you can see on your map.
okay, as we're walking, I'll say, inform him also that I think these statues are quite elegant.
He doesn't say anything to you.
Okay.
All right, and I rolled a 20 on that.
Was that a check for? Like guard walking in, or what?
basically to see if someone noticed you because you've been in this room for quite a while.
Okay.
Okay, guards obviously they're just kind of more of a patrol unit sometimes.
Okay, got it. So we went to that storage room like directly to the Dominus.
Yeah, instead of going the way you came in,
Yeah. I know. I can see it. Yeah.
yeah, you went to the storage room. I'm showing it on XSplit.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yep. All right, so you get to the Dominus headquarters and kind of catches Gallus off guard, so he kind of jumps when you walk in. It's just a surprise thing, and nothing's asked. He doesn't say, "Hey, why do you have him like this?" or anything like that. Guard brings you in, and he's behind you the entire time with the sword at your back, and he puts you in front of the desk of Gallus. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So yeah.
Wait. Desk is facing towards this right here.
Desk faces the door.
Which door?
Main door.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yep.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I'm standing there.
the guard speaks up and he says, "I found this slave wandering around in the room of statues." And Gallus says, "Okay. Do you deny it?"
No, I was on my way out, and I was just trying to see what all that was about. I'm just admiring them. They're quite the trophies.
And Gallus shoos away the guard. And Gallus speaks up. He says, "Well, there's many things in Rome that we have to try to stay accustomed to. We live in a house that trains slaves.
Of course.
And these slaves are obviously well trained under Doctore,
Very well trained.
indeed. Obviously, at any point, one of them can go mad, go crazy, grow weary, grow upset. The fact that they're still a slave.
I see the concern.
So we have to have guards, and if you go wandering and it appears no one was with you, you're by yourself. It can draw concern. I guess. I'll be honest. You probably have a couple of guards looking after you here. Probably, they'll have a strict eye on you. Probably just in the near future, obviously for suspicious behavior.
All right.
I will ask that you please don't let it happen again." And he shoos you away.
As he says that, before I go, I must ask, the solid gold statue out there, there was no writing on it.
Indeed, there's not. Someday I shall share the story with you, but at this time I have other pressing matters.
All right. I'll just...
And you can tell he's just drinking wine.
Oh, he's drinking wine right now?
Yeah. You may, just because you're pretty smart, you may get the sense that maybe he's just like, why the fuck do I keep trying to get assassinated? He's just drinking to get rid of all the worry and concern.
Oh,
and
so
shit
he's like
that.
contemplating.
Yeah, he's just trying to drink away the worries or anything that he may have at the time. He's
All right,
like, fuck this.
as I'm leaving, I'll say, of course, if you need me for anything, call me right away.
Keep that in mind. All right, and you are led back to... He motions you back to the stairs or to the gladiator training area.
Cool. That's where I go.
Okay.
I'll wait at the gate.
You wait at the gate? Okay.
Does anyone say anything to me?
No one says anything to you.
Is there any guards there?
Nope, the gate's unlocked for you to come on down.
All right, I go through it then.
Okay. You get down there, and you see that a lot of the gladiators have finished eating, so you may assume that training's probably going to start pretty soon.
Cool. I already ate, didn't I?
No.
Shit, I'm going to grab a plate real quick and
Grab a bowl.
chow down.
It's a bowl.
All right, bowl, I'm going to chow down.
Okay, you get a glass of water, a bowl. Again, it's never anything tasty. It's never anything that's super filling, but it does a job.
Okay.
You drink your water. You gulp it. What do? You sip it until they say
I'll
training,
just
and then gulp it if you have any left.
Exactly.
Okay, so that happens. You finish eating just in time. I'm assuming you take maybe 1 or 2 sips during the eating process, and Dr. Ray yells for y'all to line up, and you just chug the rest of this water and lay everything on the table, and it gets cleaned up by the guy that serves food. I don't have a name for him yet.
He's irrelevant.
Yeah, he's basically irrelevant at this point.
All right, so I'll just form a
All
line.
right, you get in a line, points to the 2 edges, and points. He goes like two fingers. He points.
Yeah.
To the edges though, on the outsides, and he motions for them to go back. Some to the hitting sticks.
Where am I in this line? think I would be at the end. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you're probably third or fourth on the right side. So you are not in the
Not
two,
in
you're
range?
not in 2. If he would have did 4 on one side, yes, but he did 2 and 2.
200. Okay,
2
cool.
and 2. So right here's the line. You're probably on the top side here.
Hmm.
I don't know how to ping this,
That's fine. I'm looking at your screen.
but yeah, you're probably on the top side. 2 go to lifting and 2 go to hitting the dummy, and you are left sparring.
Cool.
And you are brought a shield and a sword.
Sweet. All right. Before we get into this, it's been about 30 minutes.
It's been 30 minutes. Okay. Are you wanting to take a break? You want to keep going?
I
Like
think-
I said, I'm fine with the hour breaks. I just every time we take a break, I need to actually stop the recording.
I think it's better for 30 minutes so you can get a stop and then keep going.
Well, I mean, either way works. So, yeah, guys. With that being said, Gervas would like to take a break because he's a pussy faggot. So
Nope,
we'll be
I just
back
got
with you
pissed.
here in just a couple of minutes. Obviously, this being on YouTube, it'll probably be just until you switch over to the next video. So, guys, have fun.